Hey everybody, this is Z from the ABC Duelist. I'm here today to show you guys my profile of the ABC deck, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first off, of course, we're going to be playing 3 copies of both the A, the B, and the C. The reason you do this is because, it is an ABC deck. If you don't play 3 copies of it, it probably won't flow too well or do exactly what you want it to do. The A card, when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can actually add 1 card from the graveyard that's a Union monster and add it back to your hand. The B has the same effect, well, a similar effect. Basically, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Union monster from your deck to the field. And then the C here, when this card is sent to the graveyard, it special summons a Union monster from your hand. So, depending on the situation, you can use any of these combo effects and pretty much go off. They also have another ability that they all share, that when they're on the field, they can attach themselves to another Union monster, and then they will gain effect according to the card. So the yellow one here basically negates all effects that target the card is equipped to. The green one stops spells from targeting it, and then the purple one here stops traps. So they're kind of color coordinated. So if you you don't really use effect too much, but if you need to, you can equip it to a machine monster and gain that benefit for that time. Next up, I play 2 copies of both gold and silver, kind of a standard build that you see a lot. Basically, when they both hit the field, they have the option of special summoning another machine level 4 monster from your hand. And they also have a field that most people don't really realize. They have the second effect to, when they're destroyed by battle such as the graveyard, they add a copy of the other card. So gold would add silver and silver would add gold. So pretty fun card. If they're destroyed by battle such as the graveyard, you get a plus. So not a bad card to have on the field by themselves. Next up, I run 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. The reason I do this is because I do run Cyber Dragon Infinity, and having this card just makes it a lot easier to open up a play with Cyber Dragon Infinity on the first turn. I can't show you the combos once I finish this profile, but it is really fun to have this card in the deck. Next up, I do Goblinberg. I do him because when he is normal summon, he has the option of special summoning another card from my hand that's a level 4, simply by shifting him into defense mode. Another card that would be like my gold and silver gadget, so that's why I run him in here. And he is a warrior, so he's a target for my Rhoda, which I also have in my deck. So pretty good card. Next up, I do Ghost Ogre, and I do 2 Max Cs. Basically, Ghost Ogre is my tuner, and on top of that, it pops any cards that I want to get over. And Maxi, you just run 2 Maxis because you definitely want to plus. There's going to be a lot of decks that special summon, so just dropping that and watching a person go off, you can accept the Maxi challenge and probably get some really good pluses. And that is it for the monster lineup. Next up, we have 3 Union Hanger and 3 Terraforming. This card is a must at 3, which is also why I'm running 3 Terraforming, because I want to see it at all times at possible. The card is never dead in your hand. It can always plus when it hits the field. And on top of that, Terraforming is the same way. I definitely need to see the card. And on top of that, there are some cards in here where if it is in my hand and is dead, I can actually use ABC Dragon Buster to send the cards to the graveyard to banish one of their cards. So basically, having 3 copies of both of them is not a bad thing at all. Union Hanger's effect is when this card hits the field, it allows you to search out 1 Union monster and add it to your hand. And then it has a second effect is whenever you normal or special summon a Union monster, you can search your deck for another Union monster and equip it to that target. So very good. Makes going into ABC Dragon first turn very easy, and on top of that, it has some really good combo plays for the following turn after that, which I'll get into later. After that, I play 1 Rhoda. I use him only for the targeting the Goblin. That's pretty much all I use him for. After that, I do 2 Photon Leads. Now I do this card because I don't want to do the Photon Thrasher like everyone else does. I don't see why that free summon is so important. In fact, I'd rather be able to special summon out any of my other cards for free, because most of my deck is all light besides, the Goblin and the max C. So getting that free summon out, and then on top of that, I get to plus off of the hanger if I have it on the field, and then still normal summoning allows me to go into my ABC Buster Dragon first turn just about every single time. The card is never dead, never bad, and just overall very good card to play. I do 2 Twin Twisters. Just because my ABC cards are alive in the graveyard, and on top of that I can still pop their back row, or anytime just basically just pop back row, and I can still send 1 card from my hand to the graveyard, which typically I want to do anyway. Then I play 1 Foolish Burial and 1 Raigeki. I do Foolish Burial just to send 1 card that I might need for a combo piece, and if I didn't get the combo off the way I wanted to, so I can just send the last piece to the graveyard and go into my play, and then I do Raigeki just as a field wipe. I mean, pretty stable. Into my traps, I do 1 Solemn Warning and 3 Solemn Strikes, and 1 Vandy's Emptiness. Basically just to stop people from going off on any plays. The Solemn Warning, Solemn Strikes, stops their summoning. Strike hits their effects, Solemn hits cards that special summon, and then Vandy's Emptiness just stops all special summonings. I mean, I don't run too many traps in here, just because my deck pretty much goes off without me having to use them, but it is really nice to stop some plays if I do use the banish too early, or if I don't want them to bait out my banish, I can just, you know, set these in the background and be pretty much secure. That is it for my deck. Going into the extra deck now. Obviously, you'd be wanting to be running 3 copies of your ABC Dragon Buster. You just want to. You're going to always be going into 3 of them. Very easy to make. They always resolve so nicely. Their effects is once per turn during either player's turn, you can discard 1 card from your hand to banish 1 card on the field. It's a quick play quick play effect. And then on top of that, they have a second effect that can only be activated during your opponent's turn. You can tribute this card and then special summon back 3 monsters from your banish zone that was used to make the card. So the reason you would want to do this is because during their end phase, you would send attribute this card, bring back your 3 monsters, and then if you have Hanger on the field, you can activate Hanger's effect. Then that allows you to bring 1 equipped monster back to your Union monsters and equip it. Then you can go into your draw phase and then normal summon the card that normal summon another card if you have a Union in your hand, and then pretty much make another play again. So you could potentially make 2 busters on the next play, on your next turn. I mean, it's a very good OTK strategy. Very, very strong. Followed up by my Nova and my Infinity, of course. I personally love Infinity. I ran a Cyber Dragon deck. Most of you guys know if you've been following our channel for a while. So I couldn't just completely leave the card out of the deck. I mean, it is too good, too powerful, and just way too strong to just not have. It's a free negation, and on top of that, any attack monster is not safe from this card. So, yeah. I run 1 Utopia and 1 Utopia Lightning. Basically to get over problem cards, this card can detach 2 materials during his battle phase and then up his attack to 5,000. I mean, that's pretty damn scary, especially if you're dealing with tower cards. If you got into a situation where you're facing like a 4,000 Blue Eyes Max or something like that, and you have no way to get over it, I've actually been able to get over the card from this one card right here. So, I mean, you just should run it. It's very, very good. Very strong. Next up, I run 2 Diamond Dyers. Basically, when I overlay into it, probably going to be one to have both the materials that's under it goes to the graveyard so I can go to my ABC faster. On top of that, when I detach, I can target myself and 1 other card. So I would be targeting the Diamond Dyer and 1 of their cards that I want to blow up. Blow them both up, which gives me both my materials in the graveyard, and they have 1 less card in the field. Helps me, hurts them type play. Next up, 1 Gear Giant X. It just searches out your machine monsters, your machine monsters from your deck to your hand. Very good, and on top of that, it still detaches 1 card that's under it, so you're probably going to be overlaying it with at least minimum 1 ABC card. So it helps by sending 1, and then you're adding 1. So, just really good card. Then we follow this up by Castel, Abyss Dweller, and Dark Rebellion. Castel and Dark Rebellion, both of their effects, they have a detach 2 effect, which is really nice because if you have both those cards having two ABCs under them, you're basically detaching 2 to get an effect, which is sending 2 of your ABC cards to the graveyard, which is also really great, and then you're getting their effect. So for Castel, you're going to be spinning back, and then on top of that, Dark Rebellion is going to be lowering their attack, and then you're gaining that lowered attack. So that's really, really good. And then Abyss Dweller is just to stop graveyard effects, also detaching. So, I mean, all very, very good cards. They all flow really well, and, I mean, doesn't really hurt to have any of them. The last card I chose is Moonlight. I chose Moonlight because I do have 2 Ghost Ogres, so I can make a synchro play off of a regular 4. And I have it just as an option to get over cards that maybe I expended too many resources on, and it's my last resort card. But on top of that, if I put it on the field too, it pretty much stops any plays that are ranked, level 5 or up. So it's a very fun card and very scary for someone else to see, and it just flows really well into my deck. So that is basically it for my ABC deck. Like I said, I've been really waiting for this deck for a really long time, and pretty much I just love Machine Monsters. So when I heard this was coming out, I mean, I just had to do it. I had to build it, and don't really have any regrets for it. If you guys have any recommendations or what you think I could add to the deck to make it better, more consistent, which is the deck is already really consistent in my opinion, I would love to hear it in the comment section below. Thank you for your time, and thanks for watching. This is Z signing out. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.